Put him down. Put him down. I'm not looking up.
3, 2,
All right, we have returned. The absence is over. It was on me again. I am Ross, joined as always by...
Mouthful of food.
Yeah.
Oh.
Practicing to be a waiter.
Yep.
So even though I can't see you, I sense the food, so I timed it.
Yeah, I'm eating a croissant with a bacon and egg on it.
What about cheese?
No, there's no cheese on it.
No cheese.
Oh, wait, yeah, there is. Some kind of white cheese. Might be Swiss, maybe.
I'm not a fan. Arby's used to do that when I worked there. Instead of like the American cheese, they use like Swiss cheese or something on all their breakfast sandwiches. And it was dumb. It drove me insane. Because it's like, this isn't what people want.
Yeah, it's... yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so... hopefully audio levels are going to be okay. I am on a completely different system in a completely different room, so who knows what's going to happen. There is kind of a highway near us, so if you've ever heard a semi-truck engine brake, you may get that. So,
yeah. Well, at least you don't have any noisy neighbors.
Currently, no. It's much better than it was previously. I have not gotten to listen to low quality rap music for weeks now, and it's fantastic.
Sure.
Because I don't listen to a lot of rap music, but what the neighbors would play at about 11:30 or 12:30 at night, I would much imagine like when Lil Wayne just screams. Okay, now imagine someone who has a much worse voice and then auto-tunes it. Like, that is what they listen to. I do not understand how it was good. Like,
to be honest, I kind of jumped off the rap train with, who was it? I don't even know his name now.
Violent J, I believe.
No, it was more current than that. Oh, the guy who's named after money, 50 cent. I was going to say 25 cent. 50 cent.
You are
25 cent.
He is on discount. No, that is probably who my neighbors were listening to, was 25 cent, the discount version. Like,
yes.
Dude, it was not good. Like, it's like when you listen to, like, you hear, like, you would never hear it anywhere. And I listen to a lot of old punk rock. I am familiar with, like, bad music of a genre.
Yes, if you listen to punk rock.
Like, maybe they, like, it might have been, like, their own mixes, and they were just listening to their own stuff. But holy crap, it was bad. And honestly, even if it was music that I liked at 12:30 at night, I don't want to be able to be asleep and then wake up and understand the lyrics to your music. It's so loud.
Sure.
So.
And you couldn't never call the cops because you had to worry about retaliation when you're not home.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and with animals and the houses being so close to each other. Now, I don't know that they would have done that, but I also wouldn't. It's that neutral ground where you're like, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think they would. But you don't want to find out.
Sure.
Like that kind of thing. And it just makes it uneasy in general, where it's like, go out and yell at them to stop, and then they might not. Like, it was very stressful.
Well, I go out there, yell at them, and hope that they can be an immature adult, which they're not because they're already doing that anyway. So.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's just weird that it was like, why do you think this is okay? Like, that's what I don't get is, like, it'd be one thing if you're out in the country. Like, people in the country do weird stuff all the time. But let's see. So, yeah, so hopefully I had all kinds of crazy stuff happened, so we missed a week longer than I had intended. So apologies for that, everybody. Let's see. So we got all kinds of things we could talk about.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I figured we would do like a general catch up. Like maybe start with like games, if there's anything, general wrestling stuff, maybe like movies or TV show or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I do not have all the bumpers. I have the intro, and I have
Oh, no horseman laugh. Oh.
well, I had somewhere, but I can't find it. Like, so, because I use the Stream Deck, I don't know where I put all of those. Like, I have like 4 different podcast folders on this thing, but it's basically like I have it here just so if something happens to the laptop that I still have copies of stuff. I have no idea where it is.
Gotcha.
Like, it's somewhere. Oh, wait, did I find it? No. I thought I did, but no, I have the full Horseman intro, which we'll use next week for Halloween time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the only time you can use it.
Yes, I was going to use it today, but it's super long.
Well, yeah, because how long? It's like, what, 5-10 minutes long?
I think it's like 3 or 4, but now I have like the shorter version as well, but I don't know where that one is. That might be exclusively to the laptop where I re-edited it. So
yeah, maybe just put that at the end of next week's show. That way, people don't want to hear it.
Oh no, they're going to hear it. There'll be a timestamp in the notes.
Yeah,
you'll know where to skip.
yeah.
We put a reasonable amount of effort in that, so every year we force the audience to listen.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to say start with games. Hearthstone recently did this Mercenaries mode.
Yep.
Did you try it out? Did you play it at all?
Yeah, I played it. I've kind of I think I burned myself out on it because I leveled all the guys up that I could.
Yeah.
Well, level all the guys up that I wanted to go. I mean, I don't think there is an end to leveling the guys, but
I think they do get maxed. Like there is a max at some point.
I think I got them up to 15, like the main people that I would want to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I stopped. So.
Yeah, I got people like up to 30, give or
Okay.
take. But
Yeah.
I think it goes up to like 50 or
Okay.
something. I don't know exactly because the whole, like, I understand the thing, but I've heard all kinds of people talk about it, and it makes me laugh. Like trying to figure out the value of a mercenary pack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is a pack really worth 100 gold compared? Because like you gotta kind of compare it to the value of like a regular Hearthstone pack due to costing and stuff. And it's like it's hard to say. Like the fact that there's not like some be all end all fact produced by somebody at this point explaining like value of stuff tells me that there's not, like, no one knows like if something's worse. I've heard people go back and forth on like spending your coins to like craft a hero versus holding them to upgrade stuff like Arthas or something like that, and just nobody's sure of it. But so other than that, you just like burnt yourself out. Did you enjoy it until that happened?
It's enjoyable. It's a different way of playing, I guess.
Yeah.
I had like the cards that were unlocked to me was a bunch of orcs.
Yeah.
So I have like a horde faction as my main. Yeah.
So do you just like bring some dirt in a wheelbarrow from outside and just set it next to you?
Yes.
You're like, oh yeah. If only I had a couple more spikes.
Yes.
This would be fantastic. Yeah, I have. So I got Ragnaros. I think I had like some Blizzard balance, and I bought like the $4.99 pack or whatever. They gave you like some cards.
I heard that the $4.99 pack is actually a pretty good value for what it is, for like $5 or whatever.
Yeah, it felt like it because it gave me like a guaranteed like legendary mercenary.
Yep.
So I got Ragnaros. I would have rather get Arthas
Well,
or Lich King, but beggars can't be choosers.
Ragnaros is kind of nasty.
He's fun. He's got the that ability, like at base it does like 12 damage, and if it kills something it'll strike again.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I mean, Ragnaros, I enjoy him in like Heroes of the Storm, or like as a character, or like his normal card is really good and fun to play. But yeah, so him, I've used Millhouse a whole lot.
Yep.
Like I got like a bunch of tasks for Millhouse, so I got like upgrades and stuff pretty early for him. Although apparently he's just awful. Like I saw a tier list based on the PvP win rates.
Yeah.
So I'm playing the game wrong by using him, I would assume. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you done the PvP part?
No, I have like zero interest in that.
Apparently, that's how you level your characters up quickly.
Yeah. Well, I got stuck because I found out about the air elemental boss Heroic, where that's the quickest way to re-roll tasks with the mysterious stranger.
Yeah.
So I basically spent like 2 days only doing that, trying to level people up. And then yesterday, Blizzard patched that so that you can't do that anymore. So now you actually have to like try to play the game the right way instead of exploiting something that they were like, no one's going to do that. We just can't believe that they did that.
Sure.
Because it's how it goes. I forget. There was like I'm sure New World will do it eventually, where they're like, well, we never thought people would get to this point this quickly. Like, really? You didn't learn from every other video game that has said that?
I was going to play New World, and the more and more I watched the videos, the more and more it just looked like World of Warcraft with better graphics.
Right.
It just
with a more PvP
with
focused.
Yeah, and a touch of survival in there, because I guess you can craft and stuff.
Yeah, it's
it's
really not what I want in a game. Like same as you, I was watching people play it, and it looks good. The fact that you don't have to pay a sub for it is nice.
For now.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know what I want in a game right now.
Yeah.
Hearthstone has been so easy. Like the last month has been completely insane. So like being able to play like Battlegrounds or the Mercenaries or just like regular constructed Hearthstone has worked out pretty good. Battlegrounds definitely needs like something to freshen it up, though. I will say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It feels very samey, and I don't know if it's just because people high roll their comps, so you basically either get like blown out or you're doing the blowing out. But I had a game the other day, I think turn 10 it was over.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't even have like there's not even time to like that was like me and the other person, like 1 and 2, like round 10 was like the final one. So I don't know if a ton of people dropped out early or what, but like I thought I had a pretty good comp, and then I saw them and I was like, did you steal like Reno's power every turn? How did you even do this? Like, because it's not like they were Millhouse or somebody that can like speed up the process. Like they just got like the perfect tavern every time, I guess.
Sure.
So yes, I don't know, but I've actually played like a lot of Wild constructed. There is the Quest Hunter or the Quest Line Hunter, where you basically get like your hero power for free in every spell.
Yeah.
So I started out with like the odd version, where it does 3 damage per click. And I was like, this thing's the cards it was using. Like I could change like 5 cards and just do 2 damage with the hero power instead, and I feel like it's way better. But that's been a fun. Like some of the wild decks have been real fun. So I'm not like high ranked, so I'm not getting crushed by like the super optimized rush decks or anything. But just as something to kill a little bit of time.
I haven't dove into the wild decks in a long time. Just because I would hate to see what that's like.
there are some really gross things. Mostly the decks I've played, it's been like this hunter deck, which is pretty aggressive. Like, it's absolutely possible to win on turn 7.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty quick, and you're mostly doing spells. So as long as they don't kill you by turn 7, it doesn't matter. So you can, if they have like a real problematic minion, you can kill stuff pretty easy. But otherwise, you just ignore it and slow them down, and then all of a sudden you just win in one turn for the most part. The Shutterwalk Shaman has so much crazy stuff going on with it that you can usually survive, because it's like a Reno deck. So, but yeah, I'm sure if I ran into people who knew what they were doing with like Pirate Warrior or whatever the super aggro thing is, I'd be very sad.
Now, my one buddy wanted me to download the Xbox Pass because he wants to play Back for Blood, and he's trying to get a bunch of people to play with him.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this game?
Yeah, I did a little bit. It's basically the Left 4 Dead.
Basically, yeah, basically. And I was looking at that, so it's like $15 a month for a sub fee, I guess.
Is it? I thought. Let me look here.
I thought it was like initially you could get it for like $1 for a trial fee for 1 month, and then after that the way I looked at it was like, okay, it's like having a Netflix subscription.
Yeah. So I've done it. That's not what I want. Join Game Pass. Let me see. Oh wow. So the thing you can do with this, because I do have the same offer that you have right now. PC 1 month for $1, and then it goes to $9.99.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
Yeah. So for PC, it's only like $10, I think. If you have it for like console, like for everything, it's like that. I had a promo a while ago where it was 3 months for $1 a month, and then it went to like the regular price. So I will probably do this for the $1 because if you unsubscribe at a certain point and wait, you'll get like a cheap offer. It seems like.
Sure.
Ignore the EA Play stuff. That's basically EA trying to be the devil.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, so there is the Ultimate Game Pass, but I think that works where it's on everything, like your console and everything like that. But just the PC version where you're just playing on your computer is the $10 one.
Yeah.
But yeah, their game choice is very good, and the fact that like you actually get like new releases pretty regularly with it, or fairly soon.
So I was looking into that, but I don't know. I'm like, I would want to have an Xbox One. I think.
I mean,
this because I don't know. I've never been a PC person at all, and even though I know a lot of times PC is way superior than console games,
right?
But
having a console
I
is
don't
still
know.
nice. I will say what I've done is, so I got a USB Xbox controller.
Okay.
All you do is plug it in, and because it's Windows, it does magic, and then it just works. So you're basically just playing a console on your, like, the controller works. It's fine. And I bought I think it was like a $20 like Xbox controller, and it makes playing on the PC super fine.
Gotcha.
Like, and stuff run, like, depending on your system, obviously it runs better.
Sure.
Or you get a little bit more control. But yeah, so even if you do have like your, if you get your Xbox or whatever and you upgrade it to the Ultimate, you have like that Game Pass for everything. But yeah, their game wise is good. Now, if you
I love me some Gears of War. That was my favorite. That was my game.
There are, I mean, just looking at like, so the most popular stuff, because I have this up now. So you got like pretty much all of Halo. If you are ever into that, like when Halo Infinite's out, I'm definitely going to play it. I need to play Halo 4. That's the only one I haven't played. But like just some of the games you can try out, because like I would never pay for Flight Simulator, for example.
Sure.
But to mess around with it, all right, that's fine.
Sure.
So they got different things like that, like Crackdown 3. That's probably good. Outer Worlds. I mean, there's
They're already on Crackdown. I remember playing Crackdown 1.
yeah, that game was crazy. And then
yeah.
but now you're at the third one. But yeah, there's a decent amount of games that it's worth trying it. But I would say, at a minimum, for the $1,
Sure.
you're not going to regret the $1 if you play anything basically.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it that way. But yeah, like it really makes me think like Xbox is superior to PlayStation currently. Just because it's like, man, I can, even at $10 a month, if you rotate your games or you play multiple games at a time, then you're probably getting a pretty good value for it.
Well, I had a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And there was it didn't seem like there was ever any games. I don't know.
My opinion of Sony is you get like the God of War games.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's the end.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Other than God of War, because Assassin's Creed, that's on both of them. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what the advantage of having a PlayStation or Sony would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think what happened was that one thing where like Xbox was going to do DRM with all the games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then Sony was not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like Sony won, so to say. Oh, Sony gets Spider-Man stuff. So that's
that's true.
The Spider-Man games, I have not played them, but I have watched people play them. They're sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hard to go wrong with the Spider-Man games the way they are now. But yeah, but like with a Game Pass like this for, $10 a month, like, so Back for Blood, for example, if you were to play that for 4 months, so you got 4 months of playing it, at $10, it's a $60 game.
Yeah.
If you play any other game on the side, like say you main game that, but you play any game at all on the side, you're still getting very good value going forward.
So since you've already downloaded this thing that Xbox has, so does it download the game every time, or how does that work?
It is basically like Steam. So,
okay, gotcha.
Like right now, I have like a collection, but I don't have anything installed. So if I wanted to play Halo 4 and I had it set up, I'd click Halo 4, install, and then at my old house, I'd come back 3.5 days later and it would be downloaded. Now I could probably come back in 20 minutes and it will be downloaded.
Sure.
Crazy, like the difference. I don't understand. I don't know what was wrong with the internet at the old place, because they came out a few times and like reran wires and all kinds of stuff, and it was just a fucking mess.
Oh, see now you gotta bleep that out, or you gotta.
We might be explicit this week. 23 for the time.
You were just so passionate,
dude. It was like I'm sure anyone who listens will remember, like, oh, we're back from the internet.
Oh, I know. Playing games with you online was annoying. So yes, I know.
Yeah, so things are a lot better so far. But yeah,
so my buddy, he wants me to play Back for Blood with him, and if I do the Xbox thing, but $10 is not bad,
right?
But
and $1 to try it out.
Yeah. But it's the first person. I hate first person shooters. They are terrible. I have never been a fan of them.
Did you ever play Left 4 Dead when it was around?
Yeah, I played it with him and a couple of other buddies. So.
I mean, you're basically gonna get like the same experience.
Sure.
So if you enjoyed back then, I mean, and honestly, if you're looking at it as the $1, you're going to pay $1 to give it a try and play it with them. And if you hate it, whatever.
Well, it was fun because I was playing with friends.
Right.
If you take the friends out of the equation, the video game experience goes down a lot.
Well, is your friend worth $1?
I don't know. I don't know.
$1 and some time.
But yeah.
So that's the thing. But you can also, for the $1, you can give it a trial run and see how you feel about it in general, and play the most popular games like Microsoft Solitaire.
If you will play too, because you and me kind of has somewhat of a similar taste.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes. I mean, some games that you like are kind of stupid, but
your tastes are wrong.
Yes,
it's all right. I talk trash about you and pizza all the time. I was explaining to someone I work with that I was like, yeah, I have a buddy, like he'll eat pizza, but then he's on cooldown for like 14 days before he can eat pizza again, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
Yes,
that's not really an exaggeration. But yeah, so as soon as the show's over today, I will sign up for the $1 Game Pass as well. And then, now my schedule time is a little bit later because now that I work second shift, that's I'm up later. But
yeah.
So let's see here. Yeah, but yeah, you basically just enter your stuff, but download the Game Pass. I keep getting some kind of notification about this app needs an extra component for Xbox Live and game experiences.
Yeah.
I just keep ignoring it. I have no idea what that does. It might actually be needed, but it feels like they just want me to download something extra for no reason.
Sure.
Just like Hearthstone constantly pops up to ask me to allow notifications on my phone. It's like, nope. Not going to do that.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't know. 'Cause I mean, Back 4 Blood's getting a lot of praise. Like, people seem to be enjoying it from what I can tell.
Now, are you a first-person shooter person? Or third person?
If I had my choices, I will always go third person.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's some kind of psychological profile that goes along with that. that tells.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. But like first part, like I like to see my character.
Yep.
Trying to think. Like there's games I've played that are first person that are fine, but I find third person more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just the running. I think the main thing, and it was early on, and I know games have gotten better. But I remember playing a first-person shooter back, I don't know, it might have been for Nintendo 64. And I'm running, and I'm, like, stuck in a corridor. I'm like, what is keeping me from running? And you look down with your character, and it's like a pipe.
Right.
It's like, well, what? So, I don't know. Where, like, a third person, you could probably see that and run around it, though.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten better, but I just haven't played... I mean, Halo, obviously, but I have enjoyed more third-person style games than I have first-person, so it affects my preference.
Sure.
Now, when... so this is going to go back to, like, Blizzard stuff, sort of, but how come there is not an RPG-type game where you have a sword that's like Frostmourne, that the more people you kill, the stronger your weapon becomes?
There might be.
I mean, maybe. If people are listening to this and you know of a game like that, let me know.
I thought I played a game like that.
I know Fable had a sword kind of like that, but it was at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It seems like there should be some kind of RPG style game that where you can just be absolutely busted from doing it.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, it'd have to be single player to be fair, because put it in like if you could do that in Warcraft, someone would go and like farm boars somewhere and then just one shot everything.
Sure.
Like that Rextroid guy does that without something like that that's that easily exploitable. So Lord only knows what he would do with that. Go back to where people are using like an AoE to wipe out Orgrimmar, which is no loss, but like, oh no.
If we have any Horde fans, they're really, really, really mad right now.
Good. we
You and your filthy horde.
well, it depends on if you're playing an orc and you just are like, I love wallowing in the dirt. Then no, you're no good. If you're playing something
Yes.
sophisticated like troll,
That also lives in a hut. Yes.
literally, yeah. But anything that is not an orc. Yeah,
Yes.
if you have like a straight back orc because you went to the chiropractor, that's okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. You got anything else for games?
No, I think I'm good on games.
Well, maybe we'll have an update if you sign up for the Games Pass and
Yeah.
give your opinion of it.
I'm leaning strongly
Join
to
us,
do it.
the Agony of Positivity, where we review things that are decades old, just about.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, I figure we'll talk about. Have you seen where they started slicing bread?
Yes. Now we could go dive into the conspiracy theories if you want to talk a little bit about that for Halloweenish.
Oh man, this is gonna be good. So, all right, what kind? So I got to ask because all the stuff I look for for conspiracy has
Yep.
turned into nothing but political and vaccine stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not
Yeah.
even like entertaining. It's like just like
Oh.
super lame.
The newest thing is kind of entertaining.
Now, is this the one you sent me the message about yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so this one I'm okay with.
Yeah.
So well, I'll let you explain it because my reaction was something I had heard that was more extreme even.
So I mean, I'm kind of I'm kind of iffy with the whole vaccine. Not
Well,
it-
you are in the category of you do not trust pharmaceutical companies, and then you look at all the history of joining class action lawsuits because
Sure,
they
sure.
didn't disclose stuff. Like
Yeah.
currently, there's a thing for blood pressure medication having high levels of carcinogens.
yes,
So
yes.
being distrustful of what we're told by the pharmaceutical company who's in it to make money.
Yes.
I feel that is a reasonable
Well,
take.
Well, and I will say this because I know a lot of people who've gotten the Pfizer, Moderna,
Yeah.
and Johnson and Johnson, and they're all perfectly fine. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with them.
Yeah, like
right
I
now
did-
at least.
Right. Yeah, I did Pfizer like that second day or second shot sickness a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm still alive. I'm not magnetic.
Yeah, yeah.
That I know of.
So I would probably say, 99% people that get the shot are fine.
Right.
Now there is, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, either it might be political or whatever. There is people out there though that are getting sick from the vaccine.
Right.
Probably 1%. Their hearts getting inflammation in it, and some people are getting strokes, and some people are having heart attacks and stuff. Very, very, very rare that this is happening, but it is happening. So that's my whole reasoning behind not wanting to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
But this guy came into work, and he knows how I feel with the vaccine, and he's like, "Hey, Saul, have you seen this video?" And he sent me this link, and this video is about the vaccine having a entity living inside of it.
Yes.
And I'm watching it, and I just start laughing. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, and he's like, "What?" I was like, "Has an entity living inside of it?" I'm like, "Are we become Transformers?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, man." And he saw that I was just making fun of it, and he got real quiet in it, and I had to look up. He wouldn't show me more information about this because I think he believed it. It's just out
now,
there, dude.
I don't want to pile on, but was this the same guy that was like super into the super magnets that are injected into you?
Yeah, the super magnets.
So basically, like
he-
the worst case scenario, like he's into it, I guess.
He thinks he's one of those people that thought that Trump was going to like reclaim the White House in October somehow. I mean, he's all about these far out conspiracy,
Right.
Yeah,
For whatever reason. Okay.
for whatever reason, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading it, and I'm just like what?
Well, oh my goodness. So, yeah, like I had heard something about that where like if you get like a booster shot or something, they can like you have multiple in them. And then I was joking about like if I get enough booster shots, I could become Devastator.
Yeah, man. I'm like,
now really,
I'm like,
I would want to become Minosaur from the Stunticons combining, but Devastator is more well known, so I went with that.
I'm just like, of all the reasons to not get the vaccine, this one is the most absurd. I'm just like, so you think it's going to be activated by and as you watch this video, and I don't know if you watched it because I think I sent it to you. If you watch it, they're like, and they throw in the 5G stuff.
Oh, geez,
like,
oh, Pete.
like it's going to activate these things inside of you. Yeah, I was like,
the 5G thing is infuriating to me because not because I don't believe that something crazy is possible, but when you look at countries that don't have 5G and they have similar scenarios,
yeah,
it really hurts the credibility of that particular argument.
yes.
So now, yeah, we could find out in 5 years that we're all doomed because of 5G. But the evidence I would read about on it was like, well, this here completely disproves it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, they have 5G and they just don't tell anybody. I don't think it works that way. I mean, it could. But
and like you said, I mean, I like Project Mockingbird that the government did, and there's other stuff that the government has done in the past.
Yeah,
sure. I'm not saying that they wouldn't do stuff like that, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just so far out there.
I mean, no one would be protected by it, like the 5G thing, like because it's everywhere. So even high-ranking people are going to be affected.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes me less likely to believe that.
Well, so getting back to the whole entity living inside these vaccines, yes. I was like, so what's their end game? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, what's their end game for this?
Yeah, what does this thing do?
Yeah, I'm like, so what they got? He's like, well, it's living inside of you. It can control you. I was like, you do know that they have better shot at just brainwashing you through the media than actually just injecting you with
which they've kind of already done.
Sure,
both directions.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm sorry, man. I just don't buy it.
Well, oh my goodness, yeah, like they're like graphene oxide, like there's all kinds of these different things, and it's like you've brought up a couple times where it's like some of these people think that there's some kind of like heinous Batman villain mastermind plan.
Yeah.
And the comparison I made it to it yesterday, I was like, at best, for the most part, it's Cobra Commander when they wanted to destroy the ozone layer and sell SPF 1 million sunblock. Like that was their plan.
Yes.
It wasn't very good.
Yes.
Like, because anything, let's say they really are, they have a creature that can control you, that they can put into the vaccine.
Yes.
They are not going to be able to mass produce that because you can only have a handful of people know anything about it.
Yes.
It has to be completely undetectable to anyone else, like from quality control, anywhere during the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Anyone who might look at anything, it just seems very difficult.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be so big. It's like someone told me that football was rigged, and I was like, dude, you know how big of a market? I mean, you would have to control everybody because that kind of secret. I mean, it'd be impossible to control.
So, I figure we'll eventually get to wrestling, but this kind of goes with it. So, for whatever reason, I've listened to a lot of Jim Cornette stuff, but I feel like this applies. And he was talking about the old days of wrestling.
Yeah.
The reason that, so they were talking about how, boxing is kind of rigged here and there.
Yeah.
But it's a lot harder to work. Like, it's hard to throw like a fake punch convincing. Wrestling became like a worked product because if you're in a hold, it can look like you're squeezing on a headlock as hard as possible, and if the person is reacting appropriately, it's hard to tell that that's fake. Whereas if someone punches you, you can kind of see through that like a lot easier. Like, it's way harder to have like a convincing punch and it not matter.
Sure.
So with wrestling, the only people that had to be in on it were the two wrestlers and probably the promoter who was making the decision. The referee in the early days, they didn't even know it was fake.
Sure.
Because they couldn't tell, because all you were doing was holds and grappling. So it looked legit to them as well, and they were counting a legitimate fall or whatever. So small amount of people keeps it safe.
Sure.
Creating a living being that I would have to assume is synthetic is part of it.
Living metal being, yes.
Yes, that can turn you into Megatron.
Yes.
Going to be pretty hard to keep under wraps the more people who know about it, because that's huge.
Yes.
A huge deal.
Yes.
So I don't think that's going to be a widespread problem of T1000s combining out of 10 people. Like, I'm at Kroger's and all of a sudden 10 people get in range of each other and liquid metal rips out of them and they turn into a creepy cop.
Yes. I'm just like, where did this conspiracy come from? Because it is out there.
It's like this stuff ramps up. So I am curious. Have you found, because you are, I don't even know if I would call you like anti-vax on it, but you're just suspicious of it and cautious. So people hear that you're like, oh, I don't want to get it, or something like that. Yeah. Do they just assume that you're like...
Yes, they think
I don't know how to put it nicely. Like, you're insane?
Yes, they think I'm a... well, they assume that I'm a, like, fanatical, armed the Capitol Trump supporter that is as far out there nuts type thing. Right. And I was like, no, I'm not anti-vaccine because I have vaccines inside of me.
Yes.
I understand the vaccines, what they do. I just, from everything I read about the vaccine, and this is why this is where I'm coming from. The main thing of how I think about them is I don't think they stop the virus.
Right.
From everything I read, I don't think it stops transmission, and that's what a vaccine is supposed to do. It's supposed to stop the transmission of the virus. And from everything I read, you can have the vaccine and still get the virus.
Right.
What's the point of having it then?
Right. Well, and if you're going with it's new, they're trying to make money off it, information, and obviously as you find out more information, things are going to change. But there's just been a lot of stuff that makes you suspicious of things. So, you're like, you're not going to be able to have a rational conversation with somebody because they immediately assume that you think that it turns you into a magnetic robot that will storm the Capitol.
Yes.
At Emperor Trump's command.
Yes. They automatically
when he retakes the presidency from the soundstage at the real White House.
Yes. And I'm just like, it's like, and at that point, you just can't have a conversation with them because they're already in their mind, they have an opinion about you. So you're just like, okay, well, whatever.
Even people that you might more agree with, but then it's like, oh, you realize that you yourself are talking to an insane person.
Sure.
More like, is more likely.
Well, and like I've told people, they actually gave me a chance to talk about how I feel about it. It's like, well, I'm like, I understand. I'm like, so like the first polio vaccine, it took, I think, like a couple of years before they actually came out with another polio vaccine that was actually the one that they use now.
Right.
The superior one. So I just think that this is just the test run, and they need a 2.0. I will take the 2.0 version of the vaccine, I think, when it comes out. But yeah,
that's what they want. The 2.0 is the one that has the wheels and the motors. Yeah. No, I always like. Yeah, I always hate that because like I will mention to people like, oh, I'm into like the conspiracy stuff because
Yeah.
I like it. So
Sure.
they jump to, oh, you believe the Earth is flat? It's like,
Yes.
no, and I can't help myself because I try to explain. I was like, no, I don't believe that, but man, I wish that would happen because it would be so crazy. Like,
Sure.
how would society adjust if we found that out? Like, would it be a big deal?
Yeah.
Or would it be nothing? Like, but to find out, like, oh, we thought this, and now there's proof that it's something totally different. And maybe there's a part of me that's like, oh, there's exploration back in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. I mean, I would like to believe that there's ghosts, Bigfoot,
Bigfoot,
Loch Ness monster.
what, not interdimensional Bigfoot, traditional
No,
Bigfoot.
yeah, traditional Bigfoot.
I finally
But,
talked
I
to
mean-
somebody who was familiar with the interdimensional Bigfoot, and they
Yeah.
agreed that it is the lamest thing ever.
Yes.
It's
Yeah. I don't know, man.
the worst retcon since Sylvanas.
Yes.
Let's see here. All right. Do you want to move on to? Yeah. Wait. So the long and short of it is, we do not believe that there are magnets and synthetic beings living in the vaccine.
No, and I kind of like, if you listen to what Joe Rogan believed,
Yeah.
and if you listen to Joe Rogan, not what the media has portrayed Joe Rogan as. Joe Rogan, like, I believe what he believes. He's like, if you are unhealthy and sick and fat and stuff like that, yeah, you probably should get the vaccine.
Right.
But if you are somewhat healthy and feel good and everything, maybe do some research and think about it,
Right.
And so I'm kind of on the same wavelength as that. So.
Yeah. Which I personally, I have no issue with that. I know there's people who are insane on the other side who want to like start camps, basically. It's like,
Yes.
man, we need to get rid of the extremism, because not much good comes from extremism. Like,
Well, and like this one, I read this one article, and it's so true. They're like, if you want people to get vaccinated, the worst thing you can do is mandate it.
Yeah.
Because if you're already kind of if you mandate it, they're like, okay, well, now I really don't want to do it.
well, it was like when they're like, oh, all these people who are saying that they don't trust this or they don't trust that, when the FDA approves it, they'll be okay with it. And it's like, they're not going to trust the FDA.
Yeah.
And even if they say they do, they're not, because it's like, I believe the phrase is moving the goalpost. But there's also people who have just decided that their identity now
Yeah.
is not taking it or taking it, like one way or the other. Like,
Sure.
it's become like a subculture. Like, it used to just be like, oh, I'm a punk rocker or I'm a hippie. Now it's, you got these other
you
weird
just
things.
You just need somebody up there that you trust, and that's the problem. Is these public speakers, no one trusts them, because even Trump at one of his rallies said, "You should get the vaccine," and they booed him. So he got really quiet about it. So
He was like,
you
oh,
just
they don't like me.
So you need to, with his ego, you can't have that. So you just need someone that have a trustworthy face about it. I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think we all know that, I would hope that, like, when you get political, like, pretty much everyone's crooked to some degree, if they are getting airtime. Now, the people you never hear about are probably the people that we would want to hear from, but that's never going to happen. So
If Benjamin Sisko, Captain Benjamin Sisko was up there and he told me, I probably would get the vaccine.
all right. So let's move. We'll do a little bit of wrestling real quick, and just catch up on what's been going on. So the biggest thing to me is Hangman is back. He's going to get his match at Full Gear. He did the cowboy stuff promo. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you worried that Adam Page is going to overshadow these new hires that are supposed to be a big deal?
No. I worried that they're going to rush this storyline I mean, I understand he left because of his wife being
Yeah,
pregnant or whatever, but I think he's the ultimate good guy to dethrone Kenny Omega.
yeah,
I worry they're going to rush that storyline. Uh, to get back in the storyline. You know what I'm saying? I mean, rush. I mean, it's been like almost 2 years, but
right.
you know what I'm
Well,
saying,
but
right?
they got like a month basically of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the last, we'll see if he does anything tonight for Saturday Night Dynamite. But yeah, he basically was like saying what cowboy stuff is and what it means to him, and it was basically just like technically it was a pretty generic good guy promo, but
Yeah.
now people are like, compared to when he challenged Jericho for the title,
Yeah.
reaction is totally different. People are behind him, so we'll have to see. It's basically, I think they'll pull it off fine, because I think he's winning the belt at Full Gear.
I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, they've laid so much groundwork. It should be super easy to pick up a story beat and just get into it.
Well, I think we're seeing probably the downfall of the Super Click. I think the Super Click get ready. I think they're going to do their own thing
Right.
because Adam Cole is way too big to be part of that group.
It was super weird because he gets like super good guy, and he was talking about this on a podcast, but like super good guy reaction when he comes out.
Yep.
But then by the end of the match, everybody hates him. And he was like, that's really what I care about. He is like, because everybody wants to do the boom and the Adam Cole baby thing. And he's like, and there's one school of thought where I should be like discouraging that kind of stuff. And he was like, but the reality is, if by the end of the match they want to see me get my butt kicked and they're booing me, he's like, then for myself, I've achieved what I want. Sure. And honestly, if you are like an egotistical bad guy, wouldn't you want the crowd to cheer for you some?
Sure.
Like, so I kind of
and they kind of put seeds of that with Kenny's character kind of being very, very egotistical, very like this is about me type thing. So I can see his character having a problem with Adam Cole eventually.
Well, I mean, he's been a part of murdering him before, so
sure.
Which like that's amusing to me. But yeah, they've done some like really good stuff already though. Because I wasn't super into Adam Cole in NXT. Like I liked him, but his presentation here feels a lot better to me. And I mean, a lot of that is like I'm definitely more an AEW person at this point than WWE for 1,000 different reasons. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We've got Arn Anderson. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we got the belt. So let's talk about the people with the belts. So Kenny Omega is going to go against Hangman Page, which I think that's a good storyline. The tag belts. I mean, I like the Lucha Bros, but I mean, I don't know. It feels like they're not champions.
So I'm gonna go with they can have the short good guy run.
Yeah,
because them winning the belts and being the ones to beat the Bucks was what it was about.
Sure.
Get the belts on FTR.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
That's my thought. Like I've super become the bad guy with the belt long term is the better option. Like I'm slowly becoming like an old Jim Crockett Promotions fan or something, I guess.
Yes.
But I mean, now I have also not seen in a very long time a good guy with the title.
Yeah.
That it stayed exciting. Now I think Moxley, if it weren't for the whole pandemic thing, because it sounds like his plan was to do a little bit of what Omega was doing, where he was going to take that belt everywhere and defend it.
Yeah.
That would have been really good.
Sure.
Excuse me. But yeah, in general, like when Darby had the title, like the TNT belt, it was basically him burning the candle at both ends. So that kind of made it a little more interesting to see who's finally going to beat him. But then once Miro, it's like, all right, who's going to be the person to stop Miro?
And I'm sorry, Sammy is not a good choice.
I'll give him some time.
For me, he's just not. I don't know.
I'm kind of curious if Miro is going to get the belt back off him.
I think that's how it's going to be.
Which I'm okay with.
The other problem is with Sammy is they got him wrapped up in this stupid,
oh my goodness,
stupid storyline with Chris Jericho and Top Flight or Top Gear or whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called.
You know, Top Flight is the golf place. The America's Top Team and Dan Lambert. I like that it's probably going to be good for Scorpio Sky and then Ethan Page as a result. But I personally, this story is not for me. I do not care. I think what I told you yesterday, because you commented on like Roman is doing some really good stuff still. I would trade that entire team for Roman's glove and just set it in the ring for a couple minutes. And I would rather see that than Dan yelling. Yeah. Like, it hurts.
I was watching SmackDown last night at the beginning of it, and Roman, man, he's just killing it. He's a great bad guy.
So as super casual, who like I'll check out his segments or the YouTube clip, or if I see a clip somewhere of it, I'm still super into that. I think it's good. It sounds like people are starting to turn on it though, like the online sentiment. I'm starting to see more and more people being tired of it.
Sure.
It's like, dude, this is still good. Like, compared to everything else on your show.
Yes. Well,
like,
the problem
is if you get tired of it, you might want to keep it.
The problem is they don't have a super good guy. That's the problem.
And they're nowhere close. I think that's the other problem is I don't, again, like super casual, like check-in, it doesn't feel like there's anybody who's built up to even be close.
Brock Lesnar's not a good guy. He's a bad guy trying to get the belt. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'm thinking here. Because they did like the match in the Saudi Arabia show. And it sounds like that card, I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't care. But it sounds like the card in general was like really good. Like it got like matches were good, all that stuff. And it's like, so you guys can book a good show over there. But someone pointed out last night that the 1 hour wrestling show of Rampage had more wrestling than the 2 hour show.
Sure.
Like SmackDown went 40 minutes almost before there was a match.
Well, last night I was watching, and Drew McIntyre made a joke about that. He's like, all right, because of Roman and Reigns and Brock for about,
it was 36 minutes.
Was it 36 minutes? Just talked.
Yeah.
And then, like, when Drew McIntyre came out, he's like, all right, let's do some wrestling now. Yeah. I was like, so you're acknowledging that you guys don't wrestle anymore.
Like, and I definitely, like, along with, like, I think, like, a heel champion is, in general, is going to be better from what I have seen. Because, I don't know, maybe Adam Page wins the belt, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest face run as a champion I've ever seen. And it totally changes my mind. But I would think if unknown, bad guy having the belt and a good guy chasing is going to be an easier story to pull off correctly.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, in the entire wrestling history, there's been good guys winning belts, but the bad guy having it is always the best. It's just how it is.
Well, I mean, Shawn Michaels' face run as champion, nowhere near as good, I don't think, as when he was a heel with the belt.
Sure.
Like, there's not a lot of face runs that are super remarkable to me. Like John Cena doing the U.S. Open challenge, that was good because it was something kind of different, and you saw him fighting people you wouldn't normally do. I'd even say Cody with the TNT title doing like the open challenge, because that was the beginning of like, I can't believe we're seeing this.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
So, since you brought up Cody,
Yeah.
what are they doing with Malachi Black and Andrade? Are they? Because talking about a character that doesn't seem like he should be teaming up with Andrade.
I don't know, but if we end up seeing Pac against Malachi Black at some point, I don't care.
Sure.
Like, because it's funny, because I thought Aleister Black was good, but I wasn't like super into him.
Sure.
But, and again, I wasn't really focused on WWE enough to give a chance, but just like the stop-start nature of it.
Yeah.
Where he'd have these promos about somebody should come knock on my door for like a month, and then nothing really happens. It's like, what are you guys doing? So what he's been doing in AEW is very entertaining. Like, he comes across as someone he's backed up what he said.
Yeah.
There's a little degree of mystery as to like what his goal really is.
Sure.
And then Cody shows up like sparklers and fireworks, and it's like, But yeah, him with Andrade, like, I don't know if that's just like an alliance, or is Andrade paying him off? Like, I don't know. I mean, he does wear a suit and backstage stuff, so
This is true. They now I read this one I guess conspiracy theory. Not conspiracy theory. This is a guy who's doing a storyline.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're doing this, but it'd be neat. Is like, what if Malachi Black is like the herald to the Fiend, or whatever his name,
Or
whatever Bray's going to be called.
So he's
when
like
he
a
comes
Silver
in.
Surfer to Galactus.
Exactly. I was like, that'd be cool. I don't think they're doing that, but that'd be a cool storyline.
Yeah. Now, because I would prefer at this point for Malachi to be Galactus.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't think there's anybody right now that's available that I would want to see Malachi Black be a second to.
Oh yeah.
Like, even with Andrade, I would want Malachi Black to be the one pulling the strings.
Sure.
Although, I mean, I think Malachi's promos have been very good.
Yeah.
Like, the way his presentation is good. If you put Andrade next to him with the mask, and instead of the white, like the Yankee pinstripe, put him in black with white pinstripes on it to kind of match the tone and that mask, and he's standing there beside him, you might actually have something there.
It's funny that we're talking about this, because I was watching old DC, I think it was Justice League I was watching.
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor was against having the Joker and his little group that he was forming with all these bad guys.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him, like, why do you not want the Joker in here? He's like, because it always defaults to everyone following the Joker. He's like, I'm the leader, I'm the boss, and people are following me.
That's the end of it.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? He has a point there. So you need a stronger, Malachi Black, for using an example here. He's kind of his character is kind of a leader.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but Andrade, it feels like he needs a mouthpiece, but I'm not sure. But him being allied with, like, I don't know, the visual of them in the suits and everything, I think could actually work really good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in ring, Andrade is top tier, 100%.
Yes, but talk about a character that needs some kind of direction.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're. I mean, it seems like they're trying to figure out something now. Now he's just paying off people. FTR,
right?
And
well,
now Malachi Black. So.
It's like mafia vibes.
Yeah.
But if the mafia were to get involved with the occult,
yes.
Like, I mean, this might work out really good if that's like a long-term thing, or they could just be trying it on and then they part ways and it's not a big deal.
Sure.
Let's see. Trying to think. Yeah, because there's like all kinds of other stuff sort of going on. They got the women's, the the Intercontinental Women's title, the TBS belt.
Yeah.
I kind of think Jade's winning that, but I don't know.
I
mean, Thunder Rosa would be a very good option.
But she's a good guy.
Well, yeah, but to start with, she can do that, and then she can have some matches with some of the heels or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I assume
or
Ruby
Serena
Soho.
Deeb.
Assuming Ruby Soho will eventually dethrone Britt Baker. I
Yeah.
assume that's where they're going to go with that.
I mean, she would be a very good choice.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they got people like the women's division is very interesting because you have
It's better what it was a year
like
ago.
like half of them are real good.
Yeah.
And even so, I saw like so on Rampage last night, Anna Jay against Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Britt Baker is leagues above Anna Jay, if you ask me.
Yes.
From character and other stuff. But for as few matches as Anna Jay has had,
yes,
she's very good. She will be, assuming nothing crazy happens or she doesn't become gun shy from, like where you get weird about doing stuff because you were injured. She'll be very good. But
she has a personality, though, right now, like her boyfriend, a piece of bread.
Yes.
She's very just boring to watch.
Which, if they were to lean into that to where it's the extreme, kind of like on the Dark Order skits where, like, she has, her lack of personality because of who she's surrounded by is a personality in that situation. But we don't really get that on TV quite the same.
No.
But yeah, like, she'll be really good, but, like, she's like that. It's a little bit off, but it's not terrible. So, like, even the people that are that little bit off here and there they're not bad. Like, as long as you don't, you got to be careful with your pairings. But, like, their women's division is getting significantly better.
Sure, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yes. And Brandy Rhodes keeps hinting that she's coming back. No one wants you. I mean, if you're going to push, I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. Like, if they know how the sentiment is, they might just be playing that up. Like, I have no idea. Like, I never know with them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, do you think there are a lot of people are assuming that Moxley is going to win this world title eliminator to be the first challenge for Hangman?
Okay, that'd be terrible, but okay.
Who do you think is going to be? Again, I'm going on the assumption that Hangman is winning. Who is going to be the winner of the tournament?
So here's the problem with this tournament. I don't like anybody that's in this tournament. Far as challenging to get the belt next, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's bad choices because isn't the Dragon in there, Bryan Danielson?
Yeah.
I think there's some bad choices for Hangman because we assume the Hangman's going to win.
Yeah.
I just. Yeah.
I'm pulling up the bracket real quick just to take a look. But yeah, so you got Moxley against 10, which I think is tonight. Moxley has almost exclusively been going against faces currently.
Yeah.
And has in the past taken shots at Hangman.
Yeah.
So you're probably getting Orange Cassidy against Moxley, which I assume is for Moxley to destroy Cassidy to further show that he is a bad guy.
So you're saying they're going to turn Moxley into a bad guy?
Moxley is going to definitely be the heel in that situation, would be my assumption.
Well, he needs to crank it up then to be a heel.
I don't want to be... Because if you look at his path, so he's going to go against Dark Order. just the same as if he came out and like DDT'd Marco's stunt. I would consider that a face move.
Yes,
To the general audience, that wasn't very, like they like Wheeler Yuta. He's gonna, I suspect, do something horrible to 10 tonight because Dark Order is clearly good guys. I think he's gonna just wreck Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like, and then maybe beat him up after the match. Like, just not stop.
Well, that's fine then. So if they're going to do that, then I think that's a good choice.
But then I kind of think on the other side of the bracket, so Dustin Rhodes and Bryan Danielson, I can't imagine a
Dustin
world
Rhodes Dustin Rhodes is going to win that one, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good match for sure. Yeah. But then Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, I don't know who wins that, but I don't see them beating Bryan Danielson.
No.
So Moxley, Danielson.
I think, and you have Moxley hurt Danielson pretty badly. They make him be a bigger bad guy. That's right.
Well, or just outright cheat. Like, he's become so consumed with getting the belt back by that point. He'll do whatever.
He's become the thing that he hated.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, maybe Bryan Danielson goes a heel route, but it seems like Moxley against Hangman is, if you're setting up like a strong challenger for him, that can get the crowd to turn on him, Moxley would be the guy. Because it's going to, like, to get Moxley outright booed, Orange Cassidy into Hangman is a pretty good route to go.
It is.
And I think they'd have a pretty good match where they just beat the crap out of each other. So,
sure.
But yeah, that's my thought, is Moxley is going to be heel by the time and he's going to win it. But I just don't know how he beats Bryan Danielson without cheating with the run he's on. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, that would probably be pretty good just to have him cheat.
Yeah.
Beat Bryan Danielson.
With a microphone, like exactly what Omega did.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we've kind of...
it was funny, before we wrap it up here, I was reading about... Someone was commenting about Kenny Omega not being a good heel because he hasn't wrestled that much. And this one guy commented about it. He's like, he's been wrestling everywhere for about a year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's had like a ton of matches. Like,
he's been in Mexico. He's been on Impact. I mean, my God.
Do they not count like multi-man matches when they think about that? Because I will say, I've typically not for, like, I was never really for factions or the tags and that kind of stuff. But when you have groups that don't disband in 3 months, I can actually be okay with these multi-main matches where you're having people involved with each other without it being like a singles match.
Sure.
Like, it actually can work. It's just I hadn't seen it done in a long time.
In a long time, yeah. Well, WCW used to do it all the time.
Right. Well, yeah, they had like that, but like just having the consistency of like a group can form. Like, even Death Triangle, like, they're not always together, but they still, like, Penna got jumped, so Pac runs out. Like,
well, I think
you can
like
have
the
like
longest
a loose alliance, and it's still, and then when you need a group match, oh, hey, look, this makes sense.
Well, I always say the longest faction in WWE, DX and
probably Evolution.
Evolution, yeah. Other than that, everyone else. Oh no, you got the Hart Foundation. But they was fighting all the time though. So I don't know if you count them.
I mean, the actual like the end Hart Foundation that had Pillman in it, like
that was actually a good.
But
faction.
that didn't last super horribly long.
Well, to be fair, didn't Pillman die and Owen die too? So
well,
they
had moved on though. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
basically Brett leaving kind of.
Yeah, it's true. It kind of destroyed the faction because he was kind of the leader. So yeah.
But like, even besides that, like, I mean, we're having to go back how long to think?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because even the Shield, like, that was a fairly short run for a faction. It was a good run, but like, so short of like New Day, like you have like one team that is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That stands out to me, at least.
Sure.
So, and like, I still expect them to turn New Day on each other for absolutely no reason. Like, it'll be like 20. They'll be like going into the Hall of Fame as a group, and I'll be like, they're probably going to do it here because they just can't. Be like, I just can't accept that they would have a faction that they didn't turn against each other for no reason.
Yes, exactly.
So, final thing, Xavier Woods won King of the Ring.
Oh, that's good.
Which is, well, he's wanted that. Like, he talked about that, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, where titles are great and all, but he wanted King of the Ring. Like, that was the thing he wanted.
The sad thing is, King of the Ring is not like how it used to be, and that's the sad part of it. King of the Ring actually used to be somewhat, something neat.
Well, hopefully, he will do something cool with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, Baron Corbin, whatever.
No.
Like, Woods is, like, zany enough that I think he'll, like, bust out all kinds of stuff.
I mean, I think the most modern King of the Ring, and when I say modern, it's probably a couple of years old. Well, I know it's a couple of years old. It's King Booker.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean...
Yeah, because, like, Sheamus has had it, Corbin's had it. Like, there's been a few people who've had it, but it was like, it's all right, but it's not that great once it's over. I want Woods to, like, bring back, like, the throne that they carry to the ring. And it's like, have Kofi questioning and be like, are you doing that? He's like, I'm a king. I'm gonna...
So I'm going to rely on your WWE knowledge here. Did Jerry Lawler win that? Is that how he got the name King, or
I think he was just always the king, like King of Memphis or something.
So wait, did he ever win King of the Ring then?
No, not that I'm aware of. Now he beat up Bret Hart because Bret Hart won King of the Ring, and he was like, "Nuh-uh."
That sounds like McMahon. No, you ain't gonna win King of the Ring.
Pretty much, like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was his hometown, so they needed to make sure to do something horrible to him.
Sure.
All right, everybody. We will wrap it up there. We will be back for Halloween next week.
Halloween. Spookies.
All right. Have a good one. We're not getting an outro because the button's not working.
So no ad outro. Like, so we're just going to do doop doop doo doo doop doop doo doo doop.
Yep. None of my buttons work because it's a different system. Wow. There we go. That's it. All right.